and she makes it 9 straight wins here in Germany, going for yet another Porsche. The Porsche Grand Prix, that's Iga. Big bad Iga. That's right, guys. She's also won 9 of her last 10 matches, 9 straight wins here in Germany as she takes out Elisa Mertens in straight sets. And Iga, guys, the world's number one. Will she win Germany again? Will she win the French Open? Will she actually win the Olympics, guys? We'll be at the Olympics supporting all of our American players and Iga Swiatek as well. But listen, guys, remember the Olympics, they're going to be in France on clay. Iga has literally a 90+% win percentage rate the last couple seasons on clay. She's just dominating. Say that fast 2 times in a row. Now, if you missed the post match interview, she was asked some pretty darn good questions. The interviewer asked her, "Did you think it was possible?" And Iga Swiatek said, as a junior coming into professional, she didn't really think it was possible at all. And look, I think she's being a little humble there because she had a pretty darn good junior career. Now, she wasn't the most popular player. She did deal with injuries. She had a serious foot injury as a junior that kind of it could have ended her professional career before it started, but this is why I think Iga's so good. She worked really hard to come back from that injury. She did win the French Open doubles with Kat McNally, and she also won Wimbledon. A lot of people don't know that. So Iga had a lot of success as a junior, but I think the injury kind of overshadowed a lot of her success, and she wasn't really, she wasn't this number one junior that everyone was talking about. So I think that may have affected her confidence. But the injury, I think, set her back for a big comeback. And if any of you guys have ever had a big injury, if you play sports, when you're coming back and rehabbing that injury, especially with physical therapy, when you're ready to play again, you'll be a lot stronger than you were before. But the problem is maintaining that work ethic that got you back healthy. It's very tough, and a lot of people can't do that. And if you don't maintain that work ethic, your level's gonna drop, and it's gonna be nearly impossible to get back to where you were before the injury or right after being 100% recovered from the injury. I think Iga Swiatek's work ethic after coming back from that foot injury, because I mean, look at her footwork, some of the best in the game. Look at that Nadal shuffle she does at the net. That's intimidating. Have you guys seen Novak commenting about, having to face Nadal, literally being next to each other in the same locker room, before the match, seeing Nadal just run through the locker room. Novak said that's intimidating. It really, it gets you in your mental feelings before the match even starts and you're already off balance. Watching Iga at the net do her shuffle, that's intimidating. Watch her come out, lay out her towels, her drinks, playing her music while you're at the net waiting for her to come over, and then she does her Nadal shuffle, or this is called the Iga shuffle. That's intimidating, okay? And anyone that has ever competed, stuff like that, if that starts to, tick you off or upset you, you are already off your game and it's going to be bad. So you have to kind of look at the gamesmanship, right? Nadal is great at that. Iga's great at that. She'll hold you up. She'll put up her racket. She'll make you literally intimidated by her presence. That's what great players do. Now, she mentioned some really good things in this interview. She said, look, there was no Instagram real success, and she's kind of making a joke at today's society where if you go online, everyone's having this instant success. Now, listen, guys, hard work works. If you've ever had to pull your way up and just claw and fight for something in your life, you know that nothing's easy, nothing's free. Everything takes tons and tons of work, tons and tons of time. And it's great because I say all the time hard work works. And listen, it's not just about the work ethic, it's about having a great team. I talked about here in the past in my neighborhood, everyone I grew up with, including myself, by the time we were 11, 12 years old, we were all dunking a basketball. Can you imagine that? Fifth grade, sixth grade, dunking a basketball. That's how good everyone is in the inner city. People don't realize that. Everyone I knew could have made it to the NBA. But it's not just about having talent. You have to have the right team around you. And I think Iga Swiatek has the right team around her. She really does. And this is why some players struggle on tour, especially coming from the lower level to the main tour. You have to have the right team around you, and that's the big difference between, the lower level and the main tour is resources. A lot of these players that come up from the lower level, unless you have a huge sponsor or endorsement, you're not traveling with a coach. You're sharing hotel rooms, you're sharing resources. You don't have the best physical therapy. When you're in the main tour, you do, if you're an elite player, you do have access to, proper meals and, medical treatment, stuff like that. But on the lower level, it's really messy. And this is why channels like this, you guys have to support this because I'm making the sport global. I'm bringing it to thousands, hundreds of thousands of listeners and households every day, every month, every year. Take a look. Do you guys see what's happening with the WNBA right now? You have Caitlin Clark, who all of a sudden people they're interested in college basketball. That has a spillover effect into the WNBA, where now people want to watch the WNBA. This is what's going to happen with tennis. Now, tennis was big with Serena and Venus, so we understand that. But right now, in this digital age, I'm telling you guys, all my predictions are a lot of the times they're right. Not all the times, but a lot of times they're right. And when we're talking about future predictions with Iga, they've all been on the money, right? I've been telling you guys how good Iga was, how good she's gonna be, and when we're talking about the WTA, it's gonna blow up, guys. I'm telling you guys. Stay tuned. The WTA is about to blow up because of channels like this. I'm telling you what people are going to get interested in. And someone that's been a good athlete, I love sports. I'm telling you guys, we're reaching a crossroads where we've seen the men do all these great things for so many decades, for so many years. The ladies have next, and I'm telling you guys, the WTA, it's about to explode and take off. So continue to support channels like this. Continue to you go to my stores. Make sure you buy something. Come on, guys, don't just browse. You can buy stuff. But again, this post-match interview, it was good to hear Iga talk about all these things. Hard work works. You know, nothing comes easy. Look, life isn't easy, but it's simple. Just continue to work hard, do the things you need to do, show up every day, and the people that need to notice will notice. Now, Iga Swiatek also talked about the Porsches, guys. Remember, she's got two already. She gave one to her dad, and the end of her asked her, look, what are you going to do with another Porsche? Do you need another Porsche? So Iga said, look, there's always room for another Porsche. If I have to, I will build an underground garage. And Iga also mentioned she has other cars. She's won a ton of prize money. She's one of the richest athletes in the world. She's won a ton of tournaments. She's got a ton of cars, but she deserves it. And that's what happens when you work hard, guys. You are rewarded with the things you deserve. Now, in this particular match, guys, Iga got 75% of her first serves in play. Pretty darn good number, right? That's good. As long as she's not around 59%, 59, 60%, she averaged that at a lot of the majors and the master events. 75% is solid. She won 65% of her first serves. She did struggle in the second serve a bit, but she was pretty darn good at converting break points, about 80% on the conversion. She gets a victory. Now she's going to take on Emma Raducanu next. That's going to be a big match. Now Emma needs these points. Emma needs to win. But they've played twice in the past. They played here a couple years ago. I covered that match. Iga won that 6-4, 6-4. They also played last year at the Indian Wells where Iga won that in straight sets 6-3, 6-1. Emma's got a top-notch backhand, so I want to see if she can get to that backhand early and put Iga on the back foot. Emma's also moving well. Now, Emma took out Linda Noskova today, and what do you guys think? If, let's say Linda would have won that match. Linda was the favorite, but I took Emma to win that match. I mean, look, just remember that draw that Emma had to come through to win the U.S. Open, right? Emma in her form, her prime form, she's playing good. She looks good. She just beat Carolyn Garcia. Linda's just not on that level yet. Linda's a solid player, but she's not on that level. But let's just say Linda beat Emma today. Do we really want, right? Did we really want to see Linda face Iga again? What's up with the draw? Why would Linda even be on this side of the draw? Are they trying to trip Iga up? Why do they keep putting Linda in her bracket? We got to do better with the scheduling, okay? We don't want to see Coco and Sasha this early in the draw. We don't want to see Linda and Iga again. Mix up the draw a little bit. I mean, we would much rather see Rebecca and Iga next round than, Linda and Iga. But we won't. It's going to be Emma and Iga. So stay tuned. I'm going to cover that video. We're going to talk about Emma Raducanu. We have so much to talk about tonight. Should Emma get a wild card into the French Open? That's the big topic. Tennis in a minute. Like the video. Show some love. Beautiful words from Iga Swiatek, guys. I like this interview. Really good.